This is the High School Football America podcast for May the 12th, 2019. I'm Jeff Fisher. Happy Mother's Day to all. Hope every mother in the world is having a great day today. Hey, let's talk a little football here on Mother's Day. The High School Football America Composite 2019 out-of-state schedule continues to grow. Just go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. Yesterday we added, I think, about a dozen games, interstate games, to the list. It's a very comprehensive list, and as all the out-of-state games get finalized, and there still are a few more that have to hit the final stage, get the ink on the paper for the contract, but that will be updated throughout the season. Lots of huge games this year with teams crisscrossing the country that will impact the High School Football America preseason 100 that will come out next month, getting closer and closer to announcing the date for the release of the preseason 100. Well, some sad news here on Mother's Day. The town of Newton in East Texas mourning the loss, but also celebrating the life of its head coach, now the late W.T. Johnston, who led his program to back-to-back Texas high school football championships while battling chronic lung disease and blindness. Johnston passed away Saturday night, and the town is right now, like I said, it's a mixed emotion. Heading into last season, Coach Johnston had to inform his team that he might not be around if they made the run to the state championship at AT&T Stadium, and Coach did it. He made it there and led Newton to its second straight state championship, and after the game, Johnston gave a very emotional post-game interview, and here is that interview on Fox Sports Southwest.
This has been a long journey. I can't describe it. I'd have to have an hour to tell you. We got together in August right before we started practicing, and I told him I probably wouldn't make it through the season. I was only given 8 months to live, and I wanted him to be aware of what was going on, and then we got a little going, and there's about 2 or 3 weeks during the season I didn't think I was going to make it, and we talked about that, and I always told him this was the last lesson I'm going to teach him. I've been around these guys and their dads and their mothers since 1991, and I told them this would be the last lesson I would ever teach them, is how to live before you die, and where you put your strength and where you put your belief. The Lord has done so much for me. It's unbelievable what Jesus has let me do and see through these kids. And I tell everybody, they don't understand this. I've been given a great gift, and people just don't understand that. The gift is I've been able to see how my life could affect people before I die. And these guys, I mean, they've touched my life, and it's been a mutual thing. But I've been able to teach them a lesson that you don't get to see most times. And I told them last night, they talking about wanting to win for me. This is their time. I've had my time. This is these kids' time. This is all for them. I told them, do it for your teammates. Do it for you. Because 50 years from now, this will be something they'll always remember this. This will be a special time. I mean, they'll remember me. If I've done right, a part of me is going to live in them. And that's why I've always thought, if I've done things right. I'll try to put things in the right perspective. So I think we're all good on that. I talked to you last year about Newton, special place. Newton's a special place to coach. You can't find a better place. You can't find better people, fans. They've taken care of me. It's unbelievable just today, what I've seen. But I've got a great bunch of kids, and they play hard.
Again, that's W.T. Johnston, the late W.T. Johnston, head coach at Newton. Our hearts and our prayers go out to the Johnston family. What a story. It captured the nation in December as he led his team to a second straight state championship while facing what was the inevitable end to his life. He inspired the young men in the town, and he will be missed in Newton, Texas, and across the high school football landscape. Well, that's going to do it today for the High School Football America podcast. Follow us every day at highschoolfootballamerica.com. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, all all kinds of ways you can listen to the podcast each and every day. And don't forget that you can follow us when we're not here on the air on the podcast by following us on Twitter at HSFB America, on Facebook at facebook.com/High School Football America, and on Instagram at High School Football America. I'm Jeff Fisher, and we'll talk to you tomorrow on the High School Football America podcast.